Hello, this is GinGurGurl, and as you can see, I am in an asteroid mine, in this case in Vulcan space, and I wanted to explain to you a little bit about mining for asteroids. Now, this is one of my favorite things, especially early in game. It got me a lot of materials for very little cost and started building up my bank statement. Now, as an early, just basic public service announcement, there is, as you go in later, asteroid belts that are found in systems that you can discover. Now, asteroids, your yield is based on many things, one of which is the age of the asteroid. So if you have a field that you've discovered in your system and you leave that field alone for a long time, your asteroids will get bigger and bigger and bigger, and you get larger amounts from each one. Because of this, many players have multiple fields that they leave alone and kind of cycle through, and sometimes they'll let those asteroids grow for up to a month. So as a general courtesy, I myself do not go into other players' systems and mine in their fields. That being said, I can either discover my own systems with fields, use some of the public ones which are found in the inner star systems, or also there is a list in the wiki you can find that has public ones that are not being used by a specific player. They've been kind of released out into the public. Now, here is, again, like I said, an asteroid field. You can see some of these little titles of different asteroids. There's multiple types. Each one has its own materials that it's made up of. And outside of the inner 9 systems, you'll typically find 2, maybe 3 of the different types in each asteroid field. Now, some of these asteroids are very vastly different colors. Some of them blend in a lot. Like you can see these, I wouldn't really notice them if not for the names. So what I like to do in that case, especially if they're small, is I hit the night vision. And it kind of gives them a green tint, you can see here. And you'll notice it more when I get closer. Because these are all smaller asteroids, mining them is going to be really quick. The size of them not only determines the yield, but how long it takes to mine them. So I'm going to describe it before I actually get to one and try and show you how this works, because it'll go very, very quickly. When I go and choose one, I'm going to choose this one right here. It pulls up a little image of it. It also tells you what type it is and the mass of the actual asteroid. Here's another one. It's a little larger, might be easier for us to view for mining. And they come in different shapes. They spin and they have a forward trajectory. So you need to make sure that you are comfortable with your grav anchor. It's a great way to learn to fly your ship, because you're going to be maneuvering in and without your grav anchor to get into position and maintain velocity and trajectory. Now, different shapes also have different problems. For example, there are ones that people lovingly refer to as dumbbells. They tend to pivot on multiple axes, which means you sometimes, especially when they're large, have to stay out of their way or they will knock you out of orbit around them. And that becomes a problem, because once you start your mining beam, if you take it off at the wrong time, you will lower the yield that you receive. So you want to make sure that you get to the most efficient yield point, which is based on temperature, or in this case, I like to view it with color. So as we get closer, you can see here's the distance from it, and I'm getting closer. A beginner player needs to be within 5K of the asteroid. As you get higher level mining beams, you can actually get further away. My current one, I believe, is somewhere around 12K. But I'll try and get a little closer so you can see what's going on. Now, when I get here, I want to make sure that I can stay in, like I said, keep it in my sights. So I'm going to actually let it pass me so I don't have to try and work so hard to keep it in my sights. And you can see there it is. There's the asteroid. Now, as I start firing at it here in just a moment, it's going to start out, my beam, once it touches, is going to be kind of a red-orange. It's going to go from red-orange to purple, and from purple to blue. Now, if it hits completely blue, it's going to disintegrate the asteroid, and I will receive nothing. But to get the maximum yield, I want it to be very little purple remaining in the beam and mostly blue. I'll show you what I mean right now. Okay, let me get within a nice range, keeping it nice centered, and I point directly at with both the crosshair and my mouse, and I release just before it goes completely blue. And here it is. There's my yield. It's going to give it to me. It tells me how much. I got 197 iron. It wasn't a very large asteroid. The larger they are, the more they give you. Also, your skill and mining beam alter that. So happy hunting for asteroids. If you have any questions, comments, first check the wiki, and as always, leave a comment for me. I will try to address it.